Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I want to talk about the power of thank you through words and through actions.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hey, welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I want to talk about the power of thank you through words and actions. The impetus for this is it's somebody's 40th birthday that takes care of my children. For those of you who have ever put your kids in daycare for the first time, it's probably one of the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching scenarios a new mom has to go through. I don't know so much for us dads, but I know my wife looked for about 20 daycares before she chose the one. And whether that was, I lump in in-home care, I lump in, the small private schools at people's, or daycares at people's homes. What would be most cost effective, the range was across the board of reviews and just a feel of walking into these places, whether or not you felt as though it was home or not. And I'll tell you that the place that we decided on, which was off the radar, just happened to come across it, was off our radar. When my wife walked into it, it felt like home. And why did it feel like home? Because the people running the place greeted you as if you were walking into their home. Hey, welcome. Glad you're here. How can we help you? We're looking for a daycare. How old's your baby? But not like, how old's the kid, checking it off a box, and this, genuinely, lovingly towards the people who potentially would become part of their family. Hey, you may hear me get a little choked up in this because when my wife had to drop our son off, and we were in a transition period of career-wise, and there was just a lot of travel on my part. My wife had to leave our son when I was out of town 6 a.m. to 6:30, as she was supposed to be working 7 to 7. She was actually supposed to be working 6 to 6, but worked 6:30 to 6 on those days because they closed at 6:30. So at 6:30, she would be at the door of this daycare. And as a mom leaving her baby for all those hours, and then by the time he got home and took a bath, he was down. It was difficult for her. And the people who had to watch him became like family to us. And there's this amazing woman who always has a smile on her face, and at 6:30, when she was opening the door and had to take my baby boy, in gratitude and grace, as my wife had to run out the door, and every day was like, don't worry, you get to work, I got him, as she's trying to open and start her day. It never once made my wife feel bad about it, never once made her feel guilty, never once made her feel like it was an inconvenience. People like that, we must say thank you to. Because as a parent, to be able to trust somebody like that with your child and know that it's coming from a place of love is important. So this woman has been watching my children for 7 years now. Nearly 7 years. And one of the small things I've done through the years is I make a killer chocolate chip banana nut bread. And it's homemade. And the first year, my wife's like, what do we do for the teachers? And I was like, we don't have time to shop. And we didn't think of that. We're new parents. I forget that we have this teacher appreciation week and all this kind of stuff. I said, you know what? Everyone loves my chocolate chip banana nut bread. I'll just bake a couple loaves. And I baked it for the teachers, and I decided to bake one for, her name is Candace. Decided to bake one for Candace. And as just a thank you for her having to take care of our son in those first half hour of her day when she's the only one at the school. And a day or two later, she says to me as I'm walking through, she goes, you need to tell your wife that she bakes the most amazing bread. Thank you. And I said, well, you just thanked me, and that's enough because I'm the one who does the baking. And she's like, are you kidding me? I said, no. So I made it a point, because she thanked me, to always make sure she gets a loaf of bread on the special holidays, on those parent-teacher weeks, and on her birthday. And for the last 3 years, once I found out her birthday, I show up with a very warm, fresh-baked loaf of bread. And I just walked in, and I gave her that. Now I'm going to share a funny little story in the chaos of, it was Parent-Teacher Appreciation Week last week, and for the first time ever, I didn't bake. I walked in with a certain donut shops, 4 dozen donuts for the school, for all the teachers in the school. And I said, hey, this is just to show appreciation. And it was met with, oh, thank you. And I know it was a genuine thank you, but it was different than what I'm used to. What I'm used to is when I walk in at those times and I have a bag and they smell the fresh baked chocolate chip banana nut bread, and those people who are on diets go, I'm cheating on my diet for this because this stuff is amazing. I'm used to that kind of reception. So as I just walked up, and you have to picture this. I may take a picture and put it on the blog for you guys, which is bethedadyouwishyouhad.com/blog. She is so loved at this school by not only us parents, but she turned 40 today, and there's a big, huge yard sign, not a yard sign, but each letter is the size of one of those yard signs. It says, happy birthday. I think it says, Candace is 40 and fabulous, with all kinds of other stuff around it. So I walking up, and they're like, kind of like, there's a big glass window, and the ladies kind of see me, and then they see the foiled banana nut bread. It's not well wrapped. It wasn't perfect, but it was fresh out of the oven in the middle of my day. And I ran over there and I gave it to her. And the smiles, not only on Candace's face, but her coworker. And she jumps out from behind the desk. She's like, you always remember me. Thank you so much. This means so much to me. To me, is the smallest gesture I can do for someone who pours into my babies and has done so for so many years. The cost is nothing. The gesture is everything. So when you think of your teachers or your friends or your family, I was just talking to a client who says, who happens to be Chinese, and she says, for Chinese, what we do is we send money to our family as a gesture. And I thought to myself, that's their custom. I guess that works for them. But I thought to myself, and she says, right now I'm not in a position to send what I normally send, so, I didn't send anything. Now, what if I said to these people, You know, I can't do anything. I can't do what I want to do, right? I would love to like do way more in different ways and shower everybody with money and gifts. But at the end of the day, it's a $3 chocolate chip banana nut bread. It probably costs maybe $5 to make a loaf of this. I don't know, between the eggs and the bananas and the whatever. Maybe $5 that lights up this woman's world on her birthday. It's not the gift itself. It doesn't hurt that it's good stuff. But it's the gesture of, she thanked me. She told me once she thought it was amazing, which was her thank you to me, and me continuing to pour into her. So think about how you could thank the important people in your life. Think about what it means to them when they get a real, kind, not just a thank you. Not just a thank you through words, but a thank you for actions, through actions. It's important. So, Candace, if you listen to this, and I'll probably send it to you, thank you for everything that you've done for my boys and for our family. We can't express our thank yous enough. Happy birthday, and enjoy the banana nut bread.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.